session after lunch with IDFC. I would request representatives of IDFC to come on stage. They would be going ahead and presenting the objectives and the opportunities we as MSME businesswomen, businessmen, and entrepreneur have with IDFC. Please, your name? Shmapria is here to go ahead and share her words of IDFC.
I think it's a post-lunch. It will be a little tough to sit and listen to me. So I'll close it, in a very short time. So, can you hear me? Yeah. So I'm Shmapria from IDFC First Bank. So I'm the branch manager of Vidyaranyapura branch. So we are here to represent our branch and bank and what is the product we have. So let's introduce our Bravo facility. So Bravo facility is nothing but sweep in, sweep out facility. So normally in the current account we don't give interest, but here we give interest by enabling Bravo facility. So the rate of interest will be 6.3%, and that the FD day will be 370 days. And the Bravo facility will be available in current account also, in savings account also. And we are going to talk about only these topics. First is current account and the features, trade and forex, then Bravo, then retail solution, then business banking product like working capital, business loan, all those stuff, then loan against property and pre-owned car. So in the current account variants, we have three variants. First one is silver, gold, then platinum. So silver will be the basic variant, the platinum will be the higher variant. So you can look at our gold and platinum account. We don't even charge 1 rupee for any services. Like you go for debit card, it's free. NEFT, RTGS, IMPS, SMS alert, everything will be free. Even, you can go for bulk upload, bulk payments, everything will be free. So these two accounts will be good accounts for your business need. So we have a segmented current account. First one is startup. Startup means when you open when you start a new company, you cannot maintain the balance. So for that, we'll give a startup account, which will be again zero balance account for 3 years, if you provide a DPID certificate. And then next one is dynamic professional current account, which will be there for CAs and doctors and lawyers. And third one is WBA account, World Business Account. This is for inward remittance and outward remittance. So when you do any business, when you do a business of import-export, that account will suit you well. And that's what the first startup accounts, the first 3 years is a zero balance. You will get all the facility will be free and you will not be charged for anything. Even debit card charges also we don't have it. You can save in debit card charges, you can save it in SMS alert. It may be a small, but for the longer term, we don't charge anything. 40 plus banking services will be free with IDFC. And we don't have base branch concept. You can operate anywhere in India. Kanyakumari to Kashmir, you can operate. We don't have any base branch concept. Next. So again, WBA account, World Business Account. So here, whatever the cash deposit limit, whatever balance you are maintaining, 15 times cash deposit limit will be free. And then trade, 10 plus trade forex services will be free. Then we'll give a debit card, as I told. You can check in all account variant, the debit card will be free. And apart from that, the rate, what rate you do. It will be negotiable and it will be better rate I can give you. So next is trade and forex solution. Yeah.
See, for the trade and forex, normally the other banks will charge you per transaction 1,500 rupees or 2,000 rupees per transaction. Here we don't charge you, which is completely at free of cost. Only the conversion charges will be applicable. If you look at our products now, import payment solutions, buyer credit in foreign currency that we provide, letter of credit offer is available, forward contracts, since there is a increase in the dollars rate from last 15 days. If you look at the 1.5 rupee, there is a hike in the dollar rate. So you can go ahead. The people who are into import and export, they can save a lot of money through our forward contracting. Then for exports, we can provide the packaging credit, then export bill negotiation services, and even for the bank guarantees also we provide for that. And there are 10 plus forex services that we offer from the bank. It's completely at free of cost. We don't charge for the clients. Then these are all special purpose accounts. In case the people who are into the real estate, we offer escrow, RERA accounts and escrow account. When tripartite agreement happens, then we provide a escrow account offer. Then EFC, the people who are into import and export of business, when they dealing with both. Normally the bank, what happens, once you convert the inward remittance into your account, normally the charges will be applicable. EFC account is a exchange and foreign currency account. Whatever the remittance that I have received, in case I am expected to make payment for the next 20 days or 30 days or 45 days, so I can keep those funds in my EFC account. With the same funds, I can make the payment, which will customer to save both inward conversion charges and outward conversion charges. Then no-lien account we are offering for the people who are receiving a government grants from the central government or state government. If you are receiving any grant, you need to open a special account called no-lien account. That is also we are providing. Then for NR customers, we have a special non-resident rupee account as well. When it is come to retail solutions, yes, every business there will be payments and receipts. So we have both payments and collection solutions. Like for example, if you go for collections, we can provide the POS machine or QR code, or we can provide the payment gateway services for the customers, and it's all at free of cost. We don't charge you any type of service charges. The key USPs, if you look at how the IDFC current account different from competition, means the first foremost feature is there are 40 plus services on the current account, we don't charge them. And the second one is a Bravo facility. As our branch managers mentioned, we provide a sweep in sweep out facility. The customers who are maintaining an idle funds in the current account, normally most of the banks are there, they are not going to provide any interest on the current account. But here, in case if you are maintaining the balance more than 5 lakhs and above balances in your current account, which will fetch you 6.3% of rate of interest per annum. And our digital platform is also very good, and our net banking and mobile banking, which is one of the best in the industry. Then now customer also can make the payments through our net banking platform. For their any direct tax payments or GST payments, they can make it from our own platform. And also we have one more unique feature that is called the bulk payment transfer. Normally what happens, whenever you are transferring the funds to your vendors or some of your customers, once you are the beneficiary, there will be a cooling period. You need to wait for 30 minutes, 1 hour or 24 hours, where we have provided the bulk payment transfer option. Here there is no need of waiting period. If I want to transfer someone else, at the time of account opening, we are providing 1 crore rupees as a daily transaction limit. Without adding beneficiary, through our bulk payment transfer, you can make the payments. And as mentioned, we don't have any home branch and non-home branch concept. Anywhere in India you can operate. When it comes to business banking solutions, there are many MSMEs, new startup companies are here. Yes, we do provide a working capital solutions. We have a CGT MSC scheme. Those people who are looking for some sort of loans where there is no collateral. So for them also we have a solutions under CGT MSC scheme. We can fund up to 3 crore rupees without any collateral as well. And business loan and professional loans, this is we are offering if any company with a minimum 3 years of vintage, at least 1 crore of transaction per annum, we can able to provide them a business loan. We have an offer for presently which is going on for the professional business loans. The rate of interest starts with 10.5% for the professionals. Yes, LAP also term loan we have So if any customers who are looking for the tenure of 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, loan against property that we offer here will take into consider residential plots, commercial property, industrial sheds, and any customers who are getting normally most of the banks, if you are receiving any residential income or residential rentals, normally they don't take into consider, but here whatever the residential rentals they are receiving, we can take them as a income and we can fund. And it's a pre-owned cars. Pre-owned cars, our rate of interest is best in the industry. If any customers who are already having a car which is a debt-free, if they are looking for any refinancing on the same car, we can provide. In case if you are looking to buy a used car, maybe in the name of the company or at the individual name, we can get the pre-owned cars. Our rate of interest on the pre-owned cars will start with 10.5. It will go to up to 13.5%. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. The topic is beyond efficiency. We have two panels, but the first panel will be speakers. They will be speaking because all are speakers. Beyond efficiency, building geopolitically agile and resilient supply chain. Today, our eminent speakers here will be talking something every business is feeling right now. How to stay steady when the world around us is constantly shifting. Beyond efficiency is all about building supply chains that can handle geopolitical surprises and still keep moving forward. So we need to, we'll start learning how to stay steady when the world around us is constantly shifting. So with that, let's bring in the experts. Our first eminent speaker is Dr. Vidya Shankar. He is the retired Deputy Director Marketing of Spice Board, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, and a Spice Board Chair faculty. He is a PhD in commodity marketing with 35 years of experience. He is trained in sectoral export marketing from Netherlands and food safety and supply management at USFSDA, Maryland, and Mississippi. He has headed and executed many export-oriented projects. It is an honor to welcome you, sir. They'll play the...
Wherever I go, I get post-lunch session. I don't know whether it is my privilege. So I request give pre-lunch session so that I can make their food more tasty. Anyhow, that some of my pressure of post-lunch session has been taken care of by IDFC. So say good afternoon. Very good. So that effect has gone now. So we are unlocking the world of spices. It's as wide as the world. So many million kilometers. Some of the slides I want to skip because morning I have already explained those things very briefly. Yes, this I have already explained in the morning. Okay. There is a huge amount spent on food, nearly $20 trillion. Okay, global agri-trade is also going from 1.8 to 2.4. Functional foods, this is where we have opportunities. Okay, it is almost now reached $75 billion. It is not something like hair oils or anything, but the beyond nutrition, basic nutrition, it is basically officially validated foods, okay, for health benefits. It is beyond basic nutrition. Next. Can I get the... Yes, this also I have explained. Okay, food processing industry growing at 2.83%, around the average growth of 8.3. So it is reaching 1.27 billion, 1274. That means $1.274 trillion. Okay. The export stagnated, but now after post-COVID, even in threat, we got opportunities. Now it is reaching $60 billion. Okay. So we exporting more than 100 countries. We have agri-export policy. specially made for the first time in 2018 to give a focused boost to agri exports. So simple, we have all the requirements to become the world food bowl. Next. This is Spices Board, looks after export promotion of spices. For each commodity sector, there are commodity boards. Okay, we have 52 spices, which is in any form is considered a spice. Extracts, where oils, oleoresins, blends, okay, seasonings, where spice content is predominant, is considered as spice. Okay, so quality control of spices and spice products for export. Now this is our focus. We have 7 labs all over India. Wherever there are export taking place, we have a lab. Starting from Cochin, Tuticorin, Chennai, Guntur. You know, Guntur is a chili hub. Our exports have now almost reached 12,000 crores, just one commodity. Okay, Guntur we have a lab. Calcutta we have a lab. Delhi, Kandla and Mumbai. So it covers total coastal line and major processing center. Next. 52 items. It is in our website. I don't want to explain. Next. Look at the country. It's very spicy. You go to any state, you get spice. One spice or other. Okay. That means it is a pan-India opportunity for people. Whatever you grow, you use it. Rest you get from other states. This is one of the few commodities where the raw materials come all over India. Suppose you take coffee, mainly it is Karnataka. You take tea, Assam, Bengal and say Tamil Nadu and little of Karnataka. Okay. But you take spice. Just I explain. Pepper, cardamom from Kerala, chili and turmeric from Tamil Nadu, turmeric chili from Karnataka, again chili from Andhra, go to Maharashtra, Sangli, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, all seed spices. Uttar Pradesh is mint. Today our mint extracts exports have crossed 3,000 crores. Okay. Then come to Chhattisgarh, Odisha, full of organic spices. Barabanki, Korapat, they're all, now we have declared it as organic district. We have supported a lot, many FPOs and NGOs. So then go to Assam, Northeast, full of world hottest chili, world highest curcumin chili, turmeric, Lakorang turmeric is available in Andhra. Go to Punjab, you get celery and other items. Go to Jammu Kashmir, you get saffron. Like that you go from, say, Gujarat, we say Arunachal to Amritsar, Kashmir to Kanyakumari, we have, spices grown. So what does it indicate? We not only grow spices, but when we process spices, we have to procure from different corner of the country. This is where our supply chain management plays a very, very critical role. Okay. Imagine anybody manufacturing spice blends. Okay. 15, 20 items they get from different states. So imagine that he has to get a quality certification, maybe IPM certification or organic certification. So what is the amount of criticality involved? Next. See, here is the world trade in spices, about 3.4 million tons, that is 34 lakh tons. This is very rough figure. For example, I give you one small this thing. Somebody produces, say, chili. Chili cleaned and stack is removed, goes from 80 to 100. Then you purchase at 100 and powder it or crush it. Okay, somebody takes it mixed with some other thing. Finally, it goes to somebody for extraction maybe. Then he sells that product at say 500 rupees. Now he is the grower, he is the purchaser, in between a chain. For me as a producer, for him, what is the actual value of the market, 100 rupees or 500 rupees? For me, what is the market as a seller? Is it 100 rupees or 500 rupees? 500 rupees. I am getting 100 because I am not able to address this, stages. But as a true businessman or an entrepreneur, if I have to make more money, then what I have to address, our target is not this 100 rupees segment, but the 500 rupees segment. Why I am telling you is that when you go to international fairs and go to supermarkets around the world, 1 ounce of turmeric, 2.2, 2.3 euros or $1.4, okay, then what is the value? That 1 ounce turmeric cost is more than 1 kilo turmeric cost in Chamarajanagar, Sangli or Nizamabad. See the percentage of value change, 2000%. So if you translate this quantity into value, it comes to about $8 to $10 billion depending on the price of each commodity. It varies year to year. Now you add this 200%, 2000%, 20 times. No, let us be pessimistic. Add 10 times. If we say 8 billion or 10 billion is the value, we go finally to 100% value added product exports. Add 10 times or 8 times. It is between 80 billion to 100 billion. Why I am telling you is that many surveys in India has estimated that India's with simple value, not $1, $2 per pack. If we take the Indian domestic spice market is between 1.25 to 1.5 crores with 20 rupees, 30 rupees packets. Then imagine for 1 ounce, 1.4, 1.5, 1.8 euros or dollars. Convert it into addition. So what is actually market when we define, it is not what at the first center price is paid, but the last point where the consumer pays the price. That is where it is my money, but I am not getting it because I am not targeting it. So today the world market is 10 times more than what we normally calculate based on our export. Today we say 40,000 crore exports. India's export is 40,000 crores. From 240 crores we have grown into that. But if you look at the final end price, okay, it can be even more. Next. Export of spices from India. Almost 1.8 million, that is 18 lakh tons, valued about 40,000 crores. Okay, imagine a commodity which once considered as a joke. Oh, masala business. Normally they considered spice business as a gaddi business. Gaddi means, you know what is it. Okay, so that business today is grown into 40,000 crores. When somebody invested 1 crore in Kerala for a unit, he said, wow, he's invested 1 crore. Oh, he's taking so much risk. It was in 1993. Today, minimum investment people are making is 5-6 crores. Achi, where we considered 1 crore subsidy, he invested 30,000 crores. Everest invested 28,000 crores. Maya invested 14 crores. This is the kind of investment industry, you know. So this is the way the food business and spice business is going. Next. Production of spices in Karnataka. So this shows that, yes, we do have the raw material to address the industry. Next. What are all the major countries? What can you infer from this table? There are 3-4 interesting observations you can make. Just infer from this table. There are many interesting things. No, not next. Please go back. Can you make 3-4 observations? At least 2 observations? Louder. We are exporting? US and? China. Okay. Next. Other observation? We are reading the table. We are not inferring. What is the inference? It is simple. This commodity is a very socialistic commodity, not a capitalistic commodity. The bankrupt once declared bankrupt. Sri Lanka also imports so much. It is 11. The Bangladesh undergoing crisis also imports so much. And world richest country also import. Okay, that means there is no class discrimination. Is understand? It is ubiquitous, consumed by everyone without discrimination. That means the world is our market. Whereas you want to target a luxury good, you see the per capita income. This is simply because as the income goes, the income elasticity is very high for food. The moment my income starts growing up, first my focus is on food, nutrition, providing good food to people. So as the income grows, I spend more on food, so the consumption. So spice is a direct demand, not a direct demand. Now only the direct demand for cosmetics, nutraceutical is going up. Otherwise, spice is not a direct demand. Buy the car, create the demand for tires. Something like that. So it's a direct demand. So as the income goes up, people spend more money on food. There was a time with low income, India's own consumption on food was 70 rupees per 100. If people get 100 rupees, they used to eat 70 rupees food. So no money for anything else. Today, what is the percentage of amount I am spending on food? 10%? 12%? National average now is 22%. Only some countries are spending 40%. USA is spending 14 rupees per 100, 14%. That means we have reached the saturation point. That means what? It is very happy news as well as a danger. The danger is that as your income goes up by 10 times, you can't eat 10 times spice. From 50 grams, you can't eat 500 grams of chili or pepper. So what do you do with that now? You have to increase the demand. There comes the value addition. What is the kind of value addition? We just go to the next slide. See the trend, 3 decades comparison. When we were total raw spices without much cleaning, grading, with minimum regards for quality, what we were exporting. Then with technology upgradation, laboratory, ISO 22000 certification, food safety concerns, modernization of factory, 10-11, we reached 5.25 lakh tons. 2021, with sweeping changes in the next decade, straight away went to 1,75,000, almost 1.8 million tons. Okay, next. Next slide. See the value-wise. Same case, 1,800 crores, 6,800 crores, 30,000 crores. Next. Same in the dollar terms. Okay. Somebody was telling, sir, if this graph would have been my son's or daughter's marks card performance, exam performance, I would have been very, very happy. So 40%, 60% suddenly, now going to 80%. So this is the kind. Next. See, this is what the beauty of industry with diverse. Somebody morning telling, all this kind of climate, you don't find anywhere, so it is a subcontinent. Production of spices, 12 million tons, export 15, domestic 85. The Joint Register of Cooperative Society was telling, why you always talk about export? Why can't we look at our own market? This is exactly what is the spice sector. We produce 12 million, export 15%. That means we are the largest producer, consumer, exporter. So you have domestic market as well as export market. When you start, you need not worry only about the export market. Suppose I don't succeed. You still already have 85% domestic market. Next. These are all the value-added products. Okay. Here what? The limitation is there. Whole spices, because it mainly goes for food consumption. Spice powders, blends. Again, little more limitation. The unlimited potential is from 3rd, 4th, 5th. Oils, oleoresin, spice extracts, nutraceutical. But even in 2nd now, spice powders, blends. Now today we are seeing spices infiltrating into everything. As childhood we remember, biscuit means only 2. Glucose biscuit, Parle glucose biscuit, quality, Marie biscuit. But today you see the type of biscuits that have come, and most of them also have spices in that. Jeera biscuit, spice biscuit, so many varieties. That means the spices are getting into every segment. We hitherto not tried. Spice tea. Even when we were in Goa for some conference, Feni manufacturers came, now they are adding different kinds of spice flavor to Feni. So somebody asked, sir, if Feni comes under spice powder, it will be so good. Next. Direction. Everywhere it is going. Somebody was telling, there was Indian community in Germany, Indian restaurants. So this is what. Next. Sorry, I'm skipping because the time limit. Previous. Recent trends. Popularity of ethnic cuisine drives demand for new spices. Slowly as Indian community goes, more Indian restaurants, more people taste the food. And global travel has increased, people coming to India and tasting the food. So the popularity is going up. Spices are increasingly promoted as superfood. Many of you might be already manufacturing some of the this kind of foods, and especially during Corona, turmeric-based items. So many items came for health benefits. Sustainable sourcing is becoming one of the leading trends. Okay, today whenever we talk of commodity, Rainforest Alliance has come. What is that? Retain the forest. Okay, don't destroy forest, save the environment and grow the crops. Spice combinations are demand. Can you believe there are thousands of combinations of spices? People are inventing newer and newer. Recently, last week or so, one application came from Delhi-based man. So he is now producing a very unique combination for Nestle. Once introduced in the market, their products, okay, so became very, very popular. Like Griffith Labs on the way to airport, they make such kind of seasoning, the flavors and combinations for American food industry. The research lab is here. Increasing food safety and anti-adulteration requirements. Okay. So, as I told in the morning, your name of your brand is only a name, nomenclature. Nobody bothers about it. What makes is how safe your food is. So, food safety is the biggest brand. And is it adulterated? If it's, you have taken all measures against this adulteration, anti-adulteration measures, then your brand is actually that safe food. New origins are appearing on the supply side of the market. It's not only India. There is a proverb. Wherever there is chini, sugar, what will come? If you sprinkle sugar, what will come? Ants will come. If you sprinkle opportunities, who will come? Entrepreneurs will come. So when there are more profits, more opportunities, no entrepreneur will leave it. And there are organizations like Awake to train them. Okay? So grab that opportunity. Now you see that lot of small countries have started growing spices. Guatemala came, they wiped us out from cardamom. Correct? Vietnam came, within 10 years. They took that pepper vines from India under Indo-Vietnam Bhai relation friendship. Okay? Then there is a proverb, Untka. First they took permission to put the nose. After some time they took the whole tent. Okay, one tekate. So now today, 150,000 tons of pepper they export. So they wiped it out from the market. Now Russia is coming to wipe us out from coriander. Okay, so now we have to see what is left for us. 120,000 tons coriander they produce, and India is importing. I come to you when the supply chain, we are agility, we have all those things we are talking, how that becomes more complicated. Okay, why? There are two issues when we talk about supply chain. We import coriander or any item. There are 3-4 reasons why we import. Okay, one is that it has special qualities. It has special flavor, special taste that is not available in other product, so we import. Other one is, for specific purposes, only that is suitable. For example, pepper. People who extracts pepper, they take pepper from Sri Lanka, because that has high oleoresin content. Now with the flood in Sri Lanka, what has happened? Supply chain is disrupted. Okay. Same is the case with like coriander. Russian coriander has high oil content. It is cheap also. Not only. So all of you know under advanced license, now it is called advanced authorization. Okay, earlier it was called duty-free license, then it became advanced license, now it is advanced authorization. And was advanced authorization under SION, Standard Import-Output Norm, any exporter can import any item with that ratio, add value and export. Nobody can stop. Neither Raita Sangha nor FPOs, nobody can stop. If I import, suppose for curry powder, there are 7% of different combination like cinnamon, clove and other things are allowed. Quality issues. okay, which I was talking about. I will, when I come to the supply chain, I come next. These are all the initiatives by the board, okay. As morning I have told you the amount of grant we give. We have, common infrastructure. We do mandatory sampling. We train laboratory techniques to supplement your supply chain management. Next. GI products. Next. Just I am showing because time shortage. Skip it. All the technical schemes I have already explained to you. This industrial infrastructure, lab, please. Primary processing equipment. Suppose from the supplies area you want to buy, but you want to install an equipment to clean, get the graded material to any exporter, we pay 10 lakh rupees. Next. For sample sending, even product development. We are telling that spice has a very limited elasticity beyond a point. But if we want to increase our value, we have to produce new items using spices. So if you want developing any new product, okay, we give you 25 lakhs product development. If it involves clinical trial, you can get up to 1 crore. Just even for, the center of excellence, different agencies, we are assisting them to start incubation centers. Food safety quality assurance schemes. This will be available, you can collect. Next. The buyer seller mix. Okay, just skip. International fairs. Please skip. These are all the different kinds of products. Spice-based chocolates, beautiful, my favorite. Next. Spice fragrance, candles, bathing bars, beauty creams, aroma oils. This is our stall in Cochin. See, this is our objective. Already we have achieved 40 crores and shortly reaching 45 and reaching 60 by 30-35. Okay. Now the here is, we told that food safety is the major concern. Okay. We were talking about externalities. What are the externalities? What affects your trade? Supply chain disruptions are one of the disruptions that caused by, like last 5 years, how it has got. First became Corona, then became Ukraine war, then Yemen and Saudi war, then became the Israel war. Our lifeline, Suez Canal, is closed. When the Suez Canal is closed, what was our hope? When the Suez Canal was closed for some time, what was our hope? Our hope was Vasco da Gama's route, the Cape of Good Hope. Ships started coming from South Africa through Cape Town, Cape of Good Hope, started reaching India. The cost was from 1.5 to 1.75 lakh rupees per container, went up to 4.5 lakh per container. How a small exporters bear it? Then what is the alternatives you can work out? Okay. Then comes, when we say supply chain disruptions are food safety becoming an hurdle to you, and we want to build an agile supply chain, the whole issue is not what you control inside your factory, but also what you control outside. Here becomes a law, which again explained in the morning to give a brief, that there is a law under FSMA. Where is that vendor verification program? If you are supplying to US, okay, and there is a vendor verification program, it is not only at your level, unit level, but also at your supplier level. You have to declare where you control the quality, where you control the supply chain. There are hazards identified under HACCP. Madam, anybody has taken that, how in the supply chain we have to identify hazards and make an analysis of risk management. I think I heard that there are many food processors here. Just over maybe next year, 26. Think of one where now people are able to do hazard analysis and see how they manage the supply chain control. Okay. Once that happens, now how do you manage? Do you pass on the risk and you take the risk? By passing on the risk to somebody that you produce good quality, I believe you, I am taking the risk. Or by taking risk, I manage on my own that I will succeed in the risk, because doing yourself is better. Now the US FDA, FSMA, Food Safety Modernization Act says that you have passed on the responsibility. You can't simply say it is done. There are different procedures, that one external auditing, continuous update processing, that means he will be keep sending you the regular records. Okay. The in-process quality control, IPQC. What does he do? I suddenly go to his factory, my batch is under preparation. I go and with an intermediate time, I take samples, bring back it to the lab and test it and say whether what I have quality prescribed, is it meeting the same standard? Otherwise, he will not pay the price. Once it comes to Spice Board, there is a Sudan present in that. We are going to destroy that, not only reject, we are going to destroy that commodity. There is because Sudan is a poison, carcinogenic, so we don't allow you. So this is one. Then to see that, yes, at the my supplier level I have installed, all the, taken all the precaution, there is a clear procedure for you to make records, data keeping, record keeping. Okay. Here you have to do two things, verification and validation. Okay. Verification is verifying he is doing good. Validation is take that and test it and see he is doing. So with this, I'm just going to, cut short my presentation because it's a very long topic. Okay. So I think once, maybe some other time we will look for a separate program and supply chain management of food products. So with this hope to achieve 60,000 crores, I once again thank Awake for this wonderful organization. Excellent. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that in-depth and valuable insight, sir. And at Awake, we are setting up a spice board, a spice incubator. So many entrepreneurs can start at Awake incubator on the spices sector, which will again be export-oriented. And we are tying up with a spice board for that. Thank you, sir. Our next distinguished speaker is Mr. Ankit Sharma, Associate Director at Capgemini Technology Services. Mr. Sharma has 17 years of experience in supply chain management and transformation. His domain experience lies in automotive and e-commerce. He's a leader and expert in end-to-end supply chain design, digital transformation, industrial engineering, and lean manufacturing. We would like you to please come and share your input, sir.
So I think the topic on the efficiency part, I think we all know about improving the efficiency for supply chain, but this is a quite interesting topic and quite relevant to the scenario today, which is supply chain resilience, right? And I would like to start with putting in front of you this question: what do we mean by supply chain resilience, right? This is a very important, by the way, this phrase, supply chain resilience, is very important. So just throw out your thoughts on this, and then we can, start with this. So anyone who would like to mention what he or she thinks about supply chain resilience? Economic buying, okay, great, interesting. Anyone else? Great. I think it is quite synonymous, right? Global disruption and supply chain resilience. Even if you put in on Google and all, the first thing which will come is disruption, right? So yes, quite synonymous. Safe. Okay. That's an interesting point of view. Low risk path. So risk mitigation is something which we are talking about. Okay. Anyone else? Sir. Waiting for the delivery to happen, right? If it is not happening, then resilience is not good. That is what you mean to say. Okay. Yes, trust between supplier and company and customer. Agreed. Okay, so I'll just give you some food for thought over here. So if we go by literal meaning of resilience, it is, ability to anticipate ability to resist or adapt to the changes or crisis, what we call, as well as also ability to recover from the disruptions which we are talking about, right? So this anticipate, react, resist, recover, these are the core, I would say, principles for any supply chain resilience, right? And as Sir also pointed out, this resilience word was not very common in the dictionary of supply chain until 2019, and we know what I am trying to say, which is the genesis of or the place where resilience came into picture was actually COVID-19, right? That was the first time where it was a global level disruption everybody faced. And then as Sir pointed out about other disruptions, I think in 2021, as you were mentioning about Suez Canal disruption, which actually had, I mean, the global trade of close to $10 billion, you know, what disrupted, I mean, per day, that was the kind of a loss which supply chain faced. Then also very important phenomena which happened, global shortage of microcontroller chips, right? Because of only over-dependency on one specific supplier, and that was, I think, Renesas was the name of the factory which got closed, and there was actually the 1/3 of the global production of MCUs, microchips, was actually, I mean, this company was producing, and suddenly, you know, there was a shortage of chips. We were not able to roll out the vehicles, right? So this was also very, I mean, a good learning for each one of us. Then again, there were a lot of phenomena like Russia-Ukraine war, which disrupted energy, then food, precious metals. So all the supply chains got disrupted. And now it is still continuing, right? From, I think this year, the recent one is the trade war, right, which is happening. And that is also one of the big geopolitical phenomena. That is how people are changing their thinking, right? So, I mean, it is the supply chain resilience, why we are talking today, is a resultant of these last 5-6 years of disruption, right? And I would like to point out, before this resilience, I mean, before coming to this era, businesses used to only think about 3 dimensions, right? First dimension was cost. Second dimension was service level, at what service level I have to provide. And third was cash or working capital, right? These were the only 3 dimensions which all the companies were thinking about, right? Now, what has changed recently, and this has changed for all the companies, by the way, all the businesses, is adding the 2 more dimensions to it. Now we have become, you know, kind of 5-dimensional companies. These 2 dimensions are sustainability and resilience. These 2 dimensions have been added to the core of the business. So, I mean, this is a very interesting phenomena. And now, resilience is one thing, but I think today businesses, the companies needs to think about the strategy. How do you actually create a strong or establish a strong resilience strategy for your businesses? And that is irrespective of the size of the company or what you are doing. This strategy is common for all. And I think once I'll go into it, I'm sure you'll be able to relate some of the pillars of these strategies to your business and your environment as well, right? So this strategy has 7 pillars, supply chain resilience strategy. I would like to start with a very important pillar, as we spoke about ability to anticipate, right? So this first pillar is actually related to the strategy called scenario planning, right? And few of us might be aware about this construct. This is quite new. A lot of companies are adopting it. So scenario planning is the ability to simulate your outcomes well before you are doing it physically, right? And there are a lot of technology work which is going on. And we as consultants are also working with a lot of companies in order to simulate how these companies are going to create different scenarios and pros and cons of each scenario. For example, just giving an example, a pharma company. Pharma company has multiple product lines, multiple products which they are going to launch in next 5 to 10 years, right? But how do they ensure the supply chain resilience for these 50 plus products? So there is a thing called, just giving an example, called digital twin, right? Digital twin is nothing but the digital replica of your physical scenarios, right? If a company, a pharma company, has actually invested on this specific initiative called digital twin, they would be able to foresee that when their product will come to the market, how much time it will take, what are the risks, and they can also add these geopolitical factors inside it, right? So this scenario planning is a very important pillar of supply chain resilience strategy. Now, a second important point, which I think Sir also touched upon, is regionalization or localization, right? And we all know that what is happening is there is a demand cluster of any product, and then there is a supply cluster where we have suppliers sitting. Now, due to these geopolitical tensions, because of the disruptions in supply chain, there is a trend, or there are companies who are bringing these clusters together, right? So I am bringing my supplier cluster very close to my demand cluster, and that is what I mean by localization, right? I think iPhone has done it. India is becoming, one of the biggest market of iPhone. Now the production is being shifted to India. A lot of models are, and a lot of other companies across sectors. This is happening, right? So this is an important pillar: localization, creating supplies locally rather than relying on multiple geographies or geographies which are not closer to you, right? Another important strategy, which is the third pillar, is the diversification, right? And when we say diversification, the first thing which comes into our mind is diversification of our supplier base. So we should not be dependent on one supplier for a specific product. There should be multiple suppliers. I think what we advise to the businesses is to do a proper vendor risk management analysis for their vendors and suppliers, and try to understand which supplier is at what risk, right, on a scale, right, so that we can solution for it. Also, there are a lot of technologies like AI and Gen AI which are helping in this diversification, because there are applications and technologies where we can get real-time inputs on geopolitical disruptions and which supplier is going to is not going to work or get disrupted in future 3 months or 2 months down the line. There has been solutions which are coming. So yeah, technology is helping out in this diversification, right? Another important pillar is the sustainability, and it is a no-brainer. I think day by day, government regulations related to sustainability are changing. For those of you who are working with European clients or have European presence, they can relate to it, that how this regulatory compliance thing is coming very fast in this world. Just giving an example on, for example, e-waste management, right? How I would say, how difficult is it to actually transport this e-waste from one country to another country? This can, tell you what kind of sustainability initiatives I'm talking about. Another one is on the agility. So agility to actually produce what is needed today, right? Now, there used to be conventional way of producing things where we used to forecast for 6 months in future, and we used to produce the products, keep the inventory in our stock, right? But now the scenario has changed. So this social influencer market, right? Today, you have a product, you have a social influencer who is actually marketing a specific product of your company, right? Suddenly it has hit like 1,000 crores of likes, right? And that tendency of buying that product increased. Now, how will you actually adjust your supply chain and your production to actually cope up with this specific product spike, which is happening? And it was, and believe me, this has never happened before, because we are living in an era of social media and social influencer market where some ad hoc spikes are prominent, and we have to adjust our supply chains. And that is where I understand production planning is very critical. And there are a lot of technologies in PPDS space, production planning space, which are coming in, which are countering this. Also, flexible manufacturing, it means that you do not buy yourself everything. I mean, you do not make everything yourself. You should keep a good ratio between make versus buy, so that the dependency is not entirely on your setup or a supplier setup. So flexible manufacturing is also very important to actually promote this agility as a pillar. Then one very important aspect which I think a lot of companies are struggling in my experience is the visibility part. And visibility starts from having the visibility within our premise, where we have different functions within our industry, for example, supply chain, manufacturing, product, data, everybody, right? Now we have seen these individual functions are actually keeping their data in silos within their function and not sharing it with each other, right? This actually hampers the end-to-end visibility within the organization. Plus, we don't have the visibility of our suppliers as well. So what we have seen maximum is tier 1, right? Beyond tier 1, we don't have any visibility at all. So how do we counter that visibility is very important, and initiatives like control towers, global control towers, and all those things will definitely help, right? So, I mean, these are some of the key pillars which can build resilience, and this is very simple, I mean, layman strategy which I have actually spoken about. Now, there are a lot of technology enablers which can actually enable these strategies, right? We are talking about robotics, we are talking about automation, we are talking about AR, VR, right? IoT, data, cloud, synergies, 5G. So all these technologies actually have to be curated together to actually create a supply chain resilience strategy. And that is where, I mean, obviously, Capgemini as a company is working with all these technologies, bringing together and creating the supply chain resilience. And there are multiple partners who are working in this space. And that is where I think businesses need this kind of an IT or digitization strategy so that they can further enhance their resilience, right? Yeah, so I think I would just summarize it in a way that, businesses should come out of this three-dimensional three-dimensional world of cash, service level, and cost, and should focus on sustainability and resilience if they want to move into the future. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much for your expert views. Our next esteemed speaker is Mr. Venkat Ramesh. He is an Assistant General Manager at Elior India Food Services LLP, a French multinational. He has 20 years of experience in supply chain management. In his previous role with Sodexo India Food Services Private Limited, he has supported and encouraged MSMEs in expanding their business avenues. His notable services to FPOs and entrepreneurs is highly appreciated. Request Mr. Venkat Ramesh to share his insights.
Good afternoon, everyone. I thank organizers for giving me this opportunity to share my views on resilience and agility of today's supply chain. This is a very apt topic that's very much needed for today's scenario. Every entrepreneur has a dream to grow and expand their business beyond geographies. And for building businesses for any product or service, supply chain forms a backbone for that one. Today, there is no boundaries with the growth of the technologies that are happening. We can see the product that is there in US, in no time it reaches to Bangalore. Same like the product that is being developed in Bangalore reaches to other parts of the world. India is a country with the largest population, and today if you see the kind of startups we are having, it's almost we are in the top 3 list in the world. The kind of innovations we are seeing, the products that's being developed, and the opportunities that every entrepreneur is seeing in addressing the social needs or the needs of the business. Today, every business needs an aid for technology. It has become a part and parcel of any businesses. Quick adoption of technology will help in enabling the businesses to grow beyond boundaries. The agility and resilience is like two sides of the same coin, which is needed to run efficient supply chain to take the businesses to the next level. In today, the consumers' expectations are changing every day, and how well your supply chains are built to address the growing demands of the world. Those days are gone where your products or services are meant for the local regions. Now people are talking about the global perspective. Every element that what you produce or the service that you need, you got to benchmark with the world, what the other country is doing, and how well you will be able to do your product or services better than that, so that you will have a better market share. The visibility of your product and the quality of the product, the services that you do, and how quickly you are able to adapt to the changing needs, the flexibility in the supply chain speaks about your organizations. Today, it's not the time where we can produce the mass productions and push into the markets for the consumers to accept. Today is the day where we need to understand what the consumers or the customers or the clients' requirements are, and how well and quickly we are able to adapt to those requirements, make our supply chain flexible enough to deliver them. It's the world of collaboration. No point in working in silos anymore. If somebody is doing so, then the business will perish in no time. Because we can't expect any one entrepreneur to do it from starting till end. You got to have collaboration at different levels, at different segments. Collaboration is the key. Adoption of technology is the key. Resilience and agility in supply chain is the key. That's where you take your products without geographical boundaries. See, there are diversifications and disruptions that are happening, whether it could be a man-made or natural. COVID is one such example. And military wars between the countries, maybe Russia and Ukraine is one such examples. You got to see that how well your supply chains are developed, so that you can quickly change over and make a shift in that one in no time, that your consumer is not affected either by natural calamities or by man-made calamities. Whatever the product or the innovations that you do, your product should have some unique selling point which differentiate it from the market. Those days are gone where there used to be a market for any general commodities. Now you got to have some specific USP in your products that will help reach out to a new market. Else, if you are in the same product, same produce everywhere else, you'll get the same revenue of 2 to 4% margins. That doesn't work. Look at the unicorn some of the youngsters that are building upon. Earlier days, building 100 crore business used to take more than 10 years of time. Now reaching 1,000 crores has become very easy with the technologies. If you can see many of the companies like fintech companies or any other companies that are coming up, IT-based companies. See, reaching out 100 crores is not that much difficult in today's world, because they have got some USPs in their product. They are adapting to the technologies. Their supply chains are flexible, and they are open to the benchmark their products and services to the world class. Unless you have a quality in your product and the services that is meeting and exceeding the expectations of the customers, someone making a second order to you, make him think twice. You agree with me? Yeah. So please, my submission is that in this forum, many entrepreneurs have got dreams to grow their businesses and expand their businesses beyond geographies with multiple articles or multiple products. At the same time, you got to see that you have built very robust, flexible supply chain that will cater to the needs and meets the requirements of the consumers. Because the pull should come to you. There is no point in pushing your goods to the end consumers. That can happen one time, two times, not many times. But if there is a pull from the market, then there is no limit for your business growth. We need to understand what customers' requirements are. And every customer is different. If you are in FMCG or if you are in a food industry, every person's tastes are different. Every person's needs are different. How well you are developing your having agility and adaptability in your supply chain, so that you can meet, if not 100%, at least aim for above 98% of the requirements, so that you sustain in the business. Sustaining in business is very challenging. Why? Because today there may be no competitor for innovative product, but no guarantee that tomorrow there will not be any competitor. How well you are prepared enough to tackle that one speaks about the supply chain efficiency and effectiveness of the things. So the competition is going to be there in any point of time, either today, tomorrow, or day after tomorrow, and it was there in the past as well. Those who have survived are the ones who have been flexible in their supply chains and quick to adapt to the changing needs of the consumers. Today's world is growing faster than ever, and technology is one important factor. The quicker you enable the technologies into your business systems, it will help. The more collaboration you have with your vendor partners, that will help. The more better understanding and engagement you have with your consumers and customers, that will help. The better the efficiency of the supply chain you have in terms of flexibilities and innovation of the products, that will help. At any point of time, your R&D team should always constantly be working upon how innovations your products can be better than, so that you'll have a wider reach in the marketplaces. Brands, yes, they do spend crores of rupees money in building the R&D segments. But at the same time, there are individual entrepreneurs who comes out with very innovative ideas. See, for example, there are some people who does lot of R&D centers in waste management. That's a very neglected field. See, waste management, there are a lot of things that are happening on that one. Even e-waste management, that's a threatening thing for a country. How do we safely dispose e-waste management in an environmental friendly way? India is a country where we have got IT companies, and there are tons and tons of IT waste that is getting generated. How do we decompose that one in a very safe environment without having any negative impact on the environment? Today we speak about carbon footprint, sustainability programs, CSR activities, and zero carbon emission. Of course, Government of India has taken initiative towards zero carbon, and they are encouraging more on the electric vehicles and all, and solar energies and all. But we as an entrepreneur, how we can contribute to social climatic changes, how we can build our supply chain so that there is no or a zero effect that is happening to the environment. Sustainability is becoming one key component. If you look into the Europe, they have made it as a mandatory. In India, we are yet to come that kind of situation, but in Europe and even in US, there are many countries who encourage us to collaborate with the vendors who care for environment and who are participation of the sustainability. And similarly, we also look into the diversity and inclusive environment. Diversification portfolios not only are the vendor, because you have large customers, and not your one vendor or two vendor can support to the diversified vendor customers. You got to have diversification in your vendors as well. And a good combination of diversification will always give you ideas. See whether the ideas come internally within yourself, and there are many situations where vendor had given you much more ideas than your own within the organizations, and that idea has taken your company to the next level. Many such examples are there. So don't underestimate your vendor partners, have a good collaboration with them, have a transparency in understanding that what your goals are and how your vendor partners can support in that, and how you build agile and adaptable supply chains, so that if there is a customer change, you quickly pass into your vendors, and vendors are also well built enough to adapt to that changes and make a product or a service that meets to the needs of the consumer. End of the day, if the customer is not satisfied, he is not going to stay with you for long. And if he's not going to stay, your revenues are going to dip. And if your revenues are not going to dip, you cannot have a good collaboration with your vendor partners, because when you don't have business, what business you can pass on to your vendors? So that's the rippling effect that has got. In the chain, everybody has got their own contributions, and everybody has to have a common vision, common understanding, common goal towards their supply chains. Today's world is not the competition between the company to company. Those days have gone. Now is the world where there is a competition between supply chain to supply chain. That's what we need to think upon, and make our supply chain so robust enough that no matter what kind of company, whether it's big or small, that comes in, but you have well built-in supply chain that takes care of your organizational goals. When it comes to adaptability, you have lot of technologies in today's world. Some of them are available even at the free of cost as well. Please use those technologies. Try to get an understanding on what kind of scenarios we may enter into the coming days. not only on the competition level, not only on the sustainability, but try to have some pre-preparation within the team. And please pass on this education to your vendor partners as well. How well are we prepared for tomorrow's world? That is the key. Your preparedness will help you to go forward. Someone who is not prepared enough will be left behind, no matter what the brand he is, what the product he is into, and what the service he is into. The agility of this one, and then the resilience of your supply chain, it has to be a constant dynamic approach. It's not that we have built something today and that will last for 5 years. No, that guarantee is not there. You got to be very dynamic in that one. And every now and then you got to review your supply chains. Are we in line with the competition that the world we are facing in? Are we ahead of our competitors? What is happening in the other part of the world? In today's technology, whatever is happening in one part of the world, that has got some or the other effect on the another part of the world. We can't say that in certain geography, in a domestic market, we are strong enough, nobody can beat us. No. Any big company can come and it can take over all your market share in overnight. That situation we are facing. So in this environment, in this atmosphere, entrepreneur has got a bigger responsibility to see that how well they build their supply chain, because end of the day, it is the supply chain that forms the backbone of the organization, and your uniqueness of your product and the services you to do, the collaborations you to do, the adaptation to the technology, that's what it determines. And having a clear understanding of your customers, because that's very important. If their requirements and their needs are not met, so there is no assurance that he's going to renew your contract or continuity of the businesses that are going to happen in tomorrow. Within this forum, I would like to highlight upon have a good collaboration with your vendor partners, build flexible, robust supply chain that will not only meet today's requirement, but can also predict to the future scenarios and quickly adapt to the needs and demands of the consumers, so that no matter what it is and where your product is being served, in either it is natural calamities or man-made war situations, but still your customer gets the product and the services that he deserves for and he pays for. That wins your race. Thank you so much.
I request Dr. Vidyasagar and Mr. Ankit Sharma to please join us on the dais. I request the awake board members to please come.
Continuing with the previous one, now I would like to call Mr. Jayadev, Suprajit Engineering Limited, Dodbalapur. Please come on stage, sir. Congratulations. I would like to call Mr. Nikhil Dayakar, Secretary of Dodbalapur Industries Association. Mr. Nikhil Dayakar, Secretary of Dodbalapur Industry Association, to please come on stage. Congratulations, sir. I would like to call Mr. Saravana J, Snyder Electric, to please come on stage. Congratulations, Mr. Saravana. I would now request Mr. Shivapratap, HR CEO, Elmec Technopack Machineries Private Limited. Next, I would like to invite Mr. KP Jayaprakashan, CEO, Dollar Engineering Industries Private Limited. Mr. KP Jayaprakashan, CEO, Dollar Engineering Industries Private Limited. Please come on stage. Congratulations, sir. Now, I would like to invite Mr. C.N. Shivaprakash, the Managing Director, CAPEC. Next, N. Nalini and K.M. Pushpalata, Indian Postal Service. I would like to invite N. Nalini and K.M. Pushpalata from Indian Postal Service. Congratulations. Next, I would like to call on stage Mahesh Shetty, Sector Head, CSR, Skilling and Livelihood, JSW Foundation, Mumbai. Congratulations. Next, I would like to call on stage Mr. Santosh Abraham, Lead, Government Engagement and Strategic Initiatives, Satwa Consulting. Congratulations, Mr. Santosh. Next, I would like to call on stage Mr. Amarjeet Singh, BK, Bell Procurement Head. Mr. Amarjeet Singh, BK. Next, I would like to call on stage Mr. Deepak Mahadev T, GEM Portal. Deepak Mahadev T. Okay, on behalf of Mr. Deepak, sorry. On behalf of Mr. Deepak, Mr. Pankaj would be receiving the award of GEM Portal. Congratulations. We still have few more panel discussions coming, so let's keep the energy on. Thank you so much.
The next topic is the cognitive supply chain, leveraging generative AI for autonomous procurement and predictive logistics. To share insights into this latest and growing field, we have with us Mr. Divakar Pathak, who is a Senior Product Manager, Product Owner, Data AI and Security at Ericsson's. He is a senior technology and business leader with over 20 years of experience, driving large-scale digital transformation across telecom, financial services, and global enterprise environments. Mr. Divakar brings the rare ability to integrate strategic vision with practical execution, making him invaluable among AI community, especially in shaping resilient, future-ready technology ecosystem. Welcome, sir. Where was he? Welcome, sir. Looking forward to learning. And thank you for your patience.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And thank you to all who are staying so far. I know with awards given and the lunch done long ago, and already so many talks which have happened, I know the interest may be a little bit dwindling, and you might be thinking, shall I go back and head back to home? Let me tell you, next 15, or if I speak 20 minutes, forgive me, would be interesting, and probably you'll take something back home. and it's about AI. So I hope that you are interested and you have a little bit already a kind of a skin in the game in terms of using it, in terms of learning it, in terms of trying to adopt it. So let's begin. So topic is the cognitive supply chain and how can we leverage generative AI to automate procurement and predict about the logistics and get the supply chain better. Now let's think about, we have a factory somewhere in India. It's midnight. The factory is running, the assembly line is going all smooth, the material is getting consumed. Next slide. When I say like this, that means next. When I say like this is previous. All right. Coming back to the factory, right? So this factory is running pretty much very well, and like procurement, it's happening, and midnight, there is a PO created, a vendor is selected out of a lot of vendors, prices are negotiated within given parameters, quote is signed, received, and the material is being shipped. While you are sleeping, and factory, there is not many people in factory except very few. So this is like a supply chain which can think, which has some sort of cognition, okay? What we are looking for. Now this is again next, this is back. All right. So the supply chain, who could think? But let's come to the realities, okay? Are we really there where on a supply chain which could think? Pretty much not, right? There are so many problems which right now the supply chains and the industry is facing, and my previous speakers elaborated a lot of those, right? How to build a sustainable, resilient supply chain, how to bring more agility into it. We have a lot of systems, okay? We have ERP, TMS, WMS, we have analytics, BI, we have a lot of data points which is getting captured in multiple streams, we have IoT. But it's still, if you try and go and look into a real industry, you will find that the real procurement is taking almost 3 days, 4 days, 70, 80% of the time of the entire the cycle. The emails are going back and forth between the teams, somebody is not approving. So many things are stalling the things which could happen in a jiffy. And if you are into a business of, let's say, perishable goods, your time is the money, right? Every minute, every hour counts. So today supply chains are getting plagued with the slow decision. It's not just a lack of system. How do we fix it? Now, here comes generative AI. It's helping in pockets, okay? It's helping, it has started helping a lot, and even before generative AI, we have had machine learning or the predictive analytics. And then before that, you had SAP, starting from, say, 2000 onwards. Now, if you look at today's generative AI, the models have become quite smart, quite intelligent. They can scan through your contract, figure out the relevant clauses, pull out all those relevant clauses, look into the various vendors, score them, and do whatever it takes to automate the PO to a lot of extent, send it for approval internal, and within 1-2 steps it could go through. We have systems which can predict the traffic, port congestion, lot of things which actually impact the supply chain. How do you think you are able to get your atta in 10 minutes, 15 minutes through Swiggy, Blinkit? What's making that? Nowadays, this Dhanteras, my wife got the gold coins and bartans from Blinkit, okay? We didn't even go to Flipkart or Amazon. Because the speed is so fast, the quality is good, the prices are comparable, there is not much of a premium there. Still, I'm getting in less than 15 minutes. I had an incident, I got some 5,000 rupees voucher for my company, and which could be only consumed as 500 rupees. I was trying to use them in Blinkit. By the time I could finish my one order and then create the next order for $500, what I want to buy, my first order has arrived at my place. It's another thing that I stay close to old airport, and the hub is very close by. But still, it is a wonder, you know. If you would have asked 5 years back, this is possible, nobody could have believed that it is possible. So routing optimization, last mile connectivity, everywhere generative AI is able to help you. We go to the next one. But, we are not able to actually get the thing what I was talking earlier, right? We cannot automate everything overnight. Because automation works in a stable environment, and our world is anything but stable. There are so many supply chain shocks happening every now and then. So many have been quoted by my previous speakers, from wars to kind of congestions to canal closure to our friend Mr. Trump's tariff kind of vows. In this March and April, when President Trump announced tariffs, then, say, within 6 hours, US market lost 4 trillion in market cap. 4 trillion is greater than India's GDP as of now. The Tesla alone lost $125 billion. $125 billion, if you have to count, right, in 6 hours. It's more than what our entire defense or military spends in 15 months, more than a year. If you got $125 billion, you could buy 10 lakh Tata Nexon every day for an entire year. That's the amount of money which is getting wiped out. It's another thing that has come back to those levels. But that is the kind of shock which is happening in the supply chain. So when we talk about resilient supply chain, it's because the market is an indicator of the other factors, the stock market. If the other things are resilient and the things doesn't impact, market won't react. Okay, it's a proxy of the outside world. So we need to automate. We need trust, we need continuity, and we need adaptive kind of process, which can adapt to the shocks, adapt to the changes. Now, I want to talk about something technical, okay, and maybe not in so technical sense. I have a question to you. How many of you have heard about machine learning? Great. And then LLMs, large language models. Great. And then AI agents or agentic AI. Very good. How much of you could tell what is the difference between, let's say, general AI and the traditional software? One core difference, anybody? The ML, LLM, or agents what we're using, that versus the AI, which is ERP system or whichever BI system. What is one difference? Yes, please. Great, good. And any other thing what you think of that? Supports in smart decisions. Yes, sir. Master solution. Faster solution. Great. Very good point, please. Yeah, elaborate that.
Can you say if AI is interactive like as compared to software? I'm not sure.
No. That's what you're pointing is the actual real difference. What you others are seeing the site. It's kind of properties, but real difference in the sense from lion to tiger or apple to orange between these two technologies is this, okay? The previous tech stack is based upon the logic which you build in the code. You use Java, C, C++. You will define the scenarios, you will define the situations, and then you will say, okay, when price is greater than 80 rupees, you don't buy or you sell. Something like that logic you will build into your code, okay? That is an explicit logic. That means whatever you want system to do, you have to code that part, you have to say that out in the programming language. It's preset. If you want to change it, you have to go and do the change. That's how this IT industry, Infosys, TCS, Wipro, all of those were working from last 2 or 3 decades to build these IT systems which can be customized for a need and can be maintained or changed or configured because situations do change. Now, what about the AI systems? See, one key difference about AI systems is we don't tell AI explicitly what to do. We have AI is a kind of algorithm or a method which can learn from data. You show AI 1 million pictures of various animals, and the good model should be able to tell you, without I am telling the model, whether it's a tiger, lion, cat, that this is cat, but this is something looks similar to cat is actually lion. Or this is camel. That is called unsupervised learning, but good model. So it's like a technique which can learn from data. The good part, if your data is good, and you have trained your model good, then the model will be able to learn from data, every data, all data, what I'm training it to, and I don't have to maintain it every now and often, and that's true for LLMs. But I will come back to this picture. Why the hell I'm put this, no, sorry, let's go back. Why do you see a suit is there, and then I have a ML models on top of that? Anybody, any guesses on this part? Considering what I just told you right now, maybe correlation to that. So machine learning models, it has somewhat related to the tailored clothes, which many of us wear. And some 20, 30 years back when I was a kid, that was the only option. We had no options to get ready-made clothes except for the small kids. Okay. So what are the characteristics of tailored cloth? First thing first, it will fit you very well. At least the time when you have stitched it. Tomorrow, if you have eaten more or if you have become fatter, you will have to go back to the tailor and ask, can you please lose my waistline? Or can you please, refitting is required. And this is the kind of the models, what the machine learning models are. It would require a lot of effort to build one for you, specifically for that particular use case. It will fit that use case very well, but the real life is chaotic. It will drift. The model will face the drift, and then you will hear about model drift, data drift, and all that. This only is nothing but getting your suit tight or loose because you have become slim or fat. Of course, not tall and short once you have reached adulthood, but for kids that apply. So it's good, but difficult to maintain. Then 7 years ago, we have had a lot of breakthrough in terms of how the deep learning works. If anybody has heard the name of attention is all you need kind of a paper, great. So that's where it started. And now we have large language models. The large language models means something which has been trained into lot of language elements, okay? And that's where today's 90% Gen AI is actually based out of these LLMs. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, Suno, whatever you use, at the end it uses, at the back it uses couple of models, 90% transformers, some GAN, some kind of a diffusion models, but all are large language models, most of them. Now they are trained into entire corpus of our world, language, and data, and they have become generalized. I don't have to build one for a specific case. They have become generalized, and they have encyclopedic knowledge. So they can talk to you about Shakespeare as well as about Einstein. Same model, right? ChatGPT can give answer about both the things. They can talk to you about politics and poetry together. It's the same model learning at the behind. You ask, today you act as a guide, my philosophical guide, it will talk to you in a philosophical language. The same time your kid asks, okay, talk to me in Gen Z language, model will start talking in Gen Z language. Okay, same model, okay, it is not changing at the behind. So they though are like the sari. You don't have to customize it. Anybody can wear it, right? You might have some saris which is getting kind of, given to from your dadi, nani to your amma, and then you have given to daughter. Generations it has lasted. One sari could be worn by many people in multiple ways. You don't have to get it fitted for yourself. But what's the problem with sari actually, wearing sari? First, it's clumsy, right, little bit. To wear it takes little bit of effort. Then there is a chance of slip or some sort of wardrobe malfunction, some sort of a problem, right? Means you have to be careful about it. Suit is something like you'll just wear and go, okay, roam around like this. With sari, probably driving cycle, other things may be difficult and all that. Sorry means no, nothing, I can't even say personal about it, but yeah, just observation. So this Sleep is like hallucinations. You might have heard about, how many have you heard about the hallucinations as a word? All right. So these LLMs hallucinate a lot. Why do they hallucinate? Yeah, very close by. Because that's how the language is. The language need to have the variety and chaos within itself. Because the LLM has to act like all those, right? Gen Z versus this. So they have to be designed in such a way that it can capture all the elements of this, and hallucination becomes a feature of it. You cannot take it away. So sari gives you flexibility, but at the same time, it requires a lot of effort for you to put it on, carry it, and then that way. Let's move on to the next one. Then we hear about AI agents. So what AI agents do is, they take the input, use LLMs, primarily the reasoning ones, because the reasoning one is the LLM, which is a smart LLM, which says, okay, I will tell you how I thought about it. So if you have seen the thinking comes, right? So these agents look into that thinking, look into the answer, and you will build more critic and evaluator. So you'll try to build a real-time system, like one is a teacher, one is a evaluator, one is a scientist, and all those things. But the problem with them is they are brittle because they have to tackle this hallucination part, the slip part, and the errors get compounded. Okay, I will start getting more technical into this, but hopefully this helped you to get an idea about these three things. These three things are very, very common when you talk about AI. And you will see AI agents use a lot, agentic AI or AI agents. Agentic AI is something where you have multiple agents working together like a team of people. In a team, you might have somebody who is expert in one area, like one engineer, one doctor, one lawyer, and one city planner. They're trying to figure out how to get the Bangalore decongested from traffic. Can they come with an answer right now? Never, madam said. Maybe one day, okay? Let's hope. But they are look like pretty much like a brittle AI agents. Let's move on. So how do we fix it? Or how do we at least see how it could happen in future or in next 3 years, 5 years, kind of a timeline? See, for all these AI systems to become really useful, they need to have a cognitive loop, continuous cognitive loop, like what we do have. First of all, the AI in terms of intelligence and structure and capability is far behind, shorter than when you compare to a brain, okay? Our brain can run in 20 watt, AI needs 20 megawatts kind of. So they are very energy intensive. Our brain runs in 200 hertz at a speed, the AI can runs in 300 gigahertz. So despite having too much of energy, too much of scale, and too much faster speed, they are not as good as in many senses as our brain, because our brain is very complex kind of a architecture. These AIs are very simple if you compare from that perspective. What we need to do is we need to move toward that side, how our cognition works. How do we work? We first perceive. Right now, all your perception engines are working full throttle. Okay? You will not realize. Your ears are hearing everything, but you're kind of ignoring. If you're liking me, then you're ignoring everything else than my voice. If you don't like me, then sorry. Same goes for eyes. Same goes for skin, senses. Your skin is sensing everything. All the cells are sensing everything. But unless a mosquito bites you or somebody pinches you, you will not feel it that much. So the system has to perceive the entire world, figure out what is important, and then take into account, and then think about it, okay, do some reasoning, act on it, and learn from that process. And that's how these systems will evolve and become better and better to be able to use into real life scenarios. So let's assume that we have a steel factory somewhere in India. And suddenly in the factory, it's found that manganese levels are low, okay? How the manual or traditional process will work? Somebody will notice it, check the inventory, check the file, check the log, check the input shipment, then raise a purchase order, it will go for approval. It will go through multiple cycles, right? Maybe 12, 15, 20 steps, multiple days. Whereas if I look into the cognitive kind of a version of this, as I said earlier, right? The system should be able to sense, then decide, then act upon it. And it could be done within minutes if all the systems are connected, data sources are good, and the kind of, handshake between machine and humans are well defined. Who will do what? Who will take decision? What is machine's autonomy level? How much of dollar values a AI or agentic system can approve by themselves without causing me much damage or this thing? Those kind of things need to be figured out. But this is not very, very far. Okay? If we are able to build the systems where we can delegate the autonomy, like for example, today do you worry about your fridge thermostat not working properly? No, it works automatically. You just set the temperature. You don't bother and go inside how you are working, whether should I give you autonomy, maybe you'll bring the temperature down low, because it's very, very solid system. When the Google Maps came 10, 15 years ago, probably you are kind of, not using it or doubting it. Hey, I'm coming from this road every day. He's telling wrong. But today, even if you are going every day, if Google Map is telling you take a turn, you will blindly take it. You'll think, okay, yaar, perhaps there is some jam next. I can't see it. The map can see it. It can figure out various mobile positions. So this is the level of trust which needs to come into this system, which will come once we have those cognitive loop. And we need to have, it's not man versus machine, man and machine, right? So AI operates, human governs, human in the loop. This you have heard many times when you talk about AI. Ultimately, the time will come when you will delegate it, when you don't bother. Today, do you bother how my email is getting sent from your mobile to my friend's mobile? No, right? Click send and enough. You are not even bothered somebody's checked this and that you are yet have a trust that, okay, maybe all the systems are okay. For very sensitive, probably you will say, okay, I will use WhatsApp, it's encrypted, or something else. I will say, I will give it personally only. I don't trust even mobile phone or phone. Very secretive things, only you do that, but your trust level is quite high. Okay, I think I have taken much more time than I thought. So let's move on and close this out. See, we have been working on digital transformations or digitizing the data, moving from those dusty files and to database and IT-based systems for almost 3 decades now, more than that. Now it's time to digitize our decisions, the intelligence, so that you are not wasting your entire day in terms of writing email, approving email. You could go out, sit in a park, have a lunch, dinner with your friends, enjoy the life. People are talking about 4 days a week, 3 days a week. I don't know how many days you work here, probably 6 days a week. My wife is tired of HL 6 days a week. But when the systems are efficient, when the decisions are incorporated more appropriately and efficiently, the overall system's value proposition and efficiency will increase. That will allow more free time for you. Like today, I will just end it just one thing, okay? Just think about it, okay? I just saw it yesterday and it came to my mind now. Let's say 250 years ago, when there were no medicines, no cars, no internet, nothing at all. 250 years ago, you have a person who is the wealthiest person in world, okay? And if, let's say, suppose I have a magical power. If I ask you, would you want to trade your today's life with that person from 250 years ago, who is one of the wealthiest person? The only catch is that when you go back to that life, you will be able to remember everything about this life. So when you go back, you will have plenty of servants. You can go anywhere you want. You can buy anything from the world. But can you buy everything? No, because many things are not getting produced at that point of time. You won't get a mobile, you won't get TV, you won't get any access to information. You can travel anywhere where you want, but you will have to travel in a horse cart. You can't get a climate control, AC. If it is raining outside, whether you are wealthiest person or whether you are a cheapest, or say, most normal person, you will have to bear the weather, right? That was the case like that time. You didn't have the amenities or the facilities which a normal person enjoys today. Even the kings or the best. Even for food, you could get anything, but not so many food options as like today. You will have no access to antibiotics, no access to any medicines. If they have to operate you, they will just hold your teeth and operate you even if you're a king, okay? Even if you're a wealthiest person, because those things were not there. So the question is, if you have to trade your life today to that wealthiest person, would you do it? Probably not. And probably even that king wouldn't want to come to our life. So my only point is that going forward, we will see better, faster improvement, and trajectory will grow because AI is bringing a kind of transformational change, what electricity, wheel, or industrial revolution. It's engine of change because it can impact so many domains. And I'm pretty sure you will see this. Some of you will play part on it, and we will get better supply chain, better goods, better life. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for such a vast topic, and you had to cover it in few minutes. So, but still you made it very interesting, and you simplified the whole topic for everyone to understand. Thank you so much, sir.
I would like to request office bearers to please come on stage. Asha ma'am, Bona ma'am, please come on stage to do the honors.